Subscribe to the Donnie Houston podcast, man. If you had to describe when you first met him, like a young Pimp C and a young Bun, like them then when you first met them, that young, like their personalities, how would you describe them?
Their personalities?
Yeah,
Chad was always already on one.
he was always live.
He was always already like he walked into that dressing room. I think the promoters had fucked up on his rooms, and they were big on with two things about UGK and Pimp C back then. The rooms had to be. He wasn't gonna stay in no bullshit motel. It had to be 4-star better, all right, and the fucking sound system had to be superb. That's why I say at the rodeo, that microphone would have got broken,
Hmm.
or it'd have been right in sound check before he got that far. You know what I mean? He would have made sure everybody got to hear him clearly, and that music bumped like it did in your car. You know, so he was big on that. I seen that boy break a many microphones.
Hmm.
Sound check man, mad as not what you call the sound man, mad as a motherfucker. But when you sign that rider, say you gonna have this mic, this amp, these crossovers and all this, and you come with that boo boo, expect to get treated like shit. You know, and that's what it was. So yeah, Pimp was always on one. Bun was Bun's always been Bun. Bun's always been a real humble guy, very intelligent. I always talk about his intelligence. Bun and I used to always this is shit so funny. We used to act out movie roles and shit because he was. And we kids, we like to have fun. We do some shit like nigga, I stab that nigga. Like blood shit. I wonder if you remember that, man. We used to kill ourselves doing that shit, bro. Shit was funny to us.
It was making up movie scenes, or it was just
Yeah, we just be in the van
reenacting.
or something. Just it'd be like we gonna do something. Bam. And do the blood just skeet skeet. Yeah, man, we said some good things. You're around each other so much. Between I was telling this story. Bird, I put it on Facebook. Um, Pimp, Bun, Bird, Mama West, and myself. Sometimes Leroy White was in and out of that too. So between 5 and 6 people, that's all we had. We didn't have no security. Hell, I was strapped, back then. So I was 23, 24 years old, and yeah, everywhere I go, everywhere we went, I was the one that was strapped. And I don't know if I was hype man / security, but wasn't nobody gonna fuck with them when I was around. So, and that's how we roll. We tore this South up, the chilling circuit. We tore the country up. Atlanta, everywhere. We went everywhere, especially through Louisiana. It seemed like we was in Louisiana every week.
I was gonna ask you that. So you talking about like that whole San Jake area? That was like the forming of the whole Master P relationship and all that, right?
You see, back then, it was different back then. If you go back and study those UGK albums, those first two, they was more street then, more gangster. The playerism didn't come out of them more until Riding Dirty, But the first two albums, yeah, man, I'm talking about Cocaine in the Back of the Ride, Short Texas. These are songs we did. Hell, I was there. I was instrumental. I took them to a studio in Dallas. I'm not gonna say what Chad. I mean, we gotta stay politically correct. But the guy who owns that studio, Rick Rubin, he's got a unusual look about him. And Chad would always say, "Oh, that's this word that we can't say nowadays." We can say it, but I ain't gonna say it on your show. Well, anyway, we went in that studio to do the original UGK show CD, and that CD was the CD that traveled with UGK for years and years and years. I'm talking about the one people may remember when it came on with the shooting from Menace to Society. Oh, oh man, when I say we wrecked shops, wrecked clubs, wrecked venues with that motherfucking show tape.
How long was the sets at this time?
Oh man, 25, 30 minutes.
Hmm.
That was good. I mean, they was good sets.
Hmm.
They were good sets. I say 25, 30 minutes back then. Yeah, we did a lot of shows, man, and with that one CD. And even after I became after I left being the hype man, they continued to use that CD, but different variations. They always had the gunshots. It was in different order. I mean, excuse me, same order, but maybe add a song here, take one song out. You know, if they did a new album or something, they'd add the hit song off of that album, or you had to put Big Pimpin' in there, and shit like that. But it was the original. That motherfucker with them guns, probably from 94, 5, 6, 7, 8, probably all the way to 2020. I mean 2000. All the way to 2000. So yeah, and then they started doing once Chad went to jail, probably is when they changed up the show CD to where it was different variations of it. And of course they had to because they didn't do many shows after that. But Sanjak man was just regular crib.
I always hear about like the freestyle sessions and all that,
Yeah.
man. The Big Mike being over there,
Big
and like
Mike was
3-2
over there a
and all
lot.
that type of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, 3-2 my cousin, man. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's my boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3-2 is the one that introduced me to the UGK. That's my boy. He called me Bobo the Psycho. That's I used to go by because of that thing, Bobo the Psycho. And then every time he see me, he used to say Bobo the Psycho. He came down to Dallas. I picked him up from the airport, and he had this cassette, and he put it in, and it was UGK. It was like the first 2 or 3 songs from him. He said, "These boys about to be some stars." And they were. I could tell that they were something special. Back then it was nothing but the Ghetto Boys and Nemesis. And you had the Convicts, of course, but they were breaking up at that time. But other than that, the 2 biggest groups was Nemesis and the Ghetto Boys. And I can't forget about PKO out of San Antonio. Pound Keys and those E's.
Yeah.
Donnie Houston.